Black Hole Podcast. Today I want to speak on empathy, patience, humanity in general, the act of being a human, seeing others as humans as opposed to seeing others as things. It can be very difficult sometimes to have empathy for others, patience with others, especially when you know very well that those same people, they have no empathy towards you. They have no patience towards you. They see no humanity in you. So what do you do? How do you treat these people? Should you treat these people as they treat you, or should you treat them as ideally you will want to be treated? Though it can be a struggle sometimes. Always look for that empathy, okay? See other people as humans, because the only way anything improves in this world is if someone says, okay, no, you got to put your foot down. You can't just keep perpetuating the cycles, Someone may have negative feelings towards me, and thus I have negative feelings back towards them. Well, if you do that, the cycle continues. The cycle of negativity continues, right? The cycle of negativity will continue. Someone has to put their foot down and break. It's like, okay, despite who this person is, despite how they act towards me, I decided that I'm going to behave a certain way. I decided that I will view the world and interact with the world on my terms that I decide. I will choose patience. I will choose to have empathy for those, even those that do not have empathy towards me and will never have empathy towards me. In life, you are required sometimes to, bear things that seem unbearable, endure things that will seem unendurable, but in the end, if you have strength, if you truly value strength in life, you'll find a way. You'll find a way to endure and bear such things. Now, nothing in particular happened to me. It's just been on my mind for a while, Once you live along, a certain amount of years, you start to see things, and you notice how, certain patterns, certain behaviors with people, with humans. And it all boils down to that fact that, these people just lack empathy for anyone else. That's an explanation for some people's actions. Well, for most people's actions, that's the most negative actions. How could you rob? How could you do violence with someone if you actually had empathy towards them? You actually saw them as a human. I did a video about dehumanization a while back, the black community, but it affects everyone, because you have to see someone as not human, not as yourself, in order to do certain things to them. There are certain times where you have to do what you have to do. You have to do some unpleasant things, but those are very rare circumstances, and many times you could look for alternative ways to deal with situations as opposed to looking for the most brutal way to deal with a situation. Oftentimes people look for the most brutal way to act and excuses to act in the most brutal fashion possible. And it comes back down to just a lack of empathy, lack of humanity. every day in your everyday life, little small micro things happen in situations where you could have handled that a little differently. You could have showed a little more patience, with your loved ones, with your workmates, friends. Sometimes you're feeling stressed or rushed and might cause you to act a certain way. Sometimes you're feeling burdens on you, and someone might rub you the wrong way at a certain time. Someone might do something in your household. Someone might, and just annoy you, might push you over the edge. But you gotta just always just stop, just pause, stop and think it over a little bit, Think, is this really how I want to respond? Is this how I want to interact truly? Is this a fair way to interact? Is this a logical way to interact? Is it logical? Does it make sense? Oftentimes, no. Just take that little pause. Sometimes it is enough for you to catch yourself in. Okay, respond in a better way. Respond in a more humane way. Respond with empathy, patience. And you're not doing this for the benefit of other people. It has nothing to do with the benefit of other people. It has to do with your own benefit and your own well-being. At the end of the day, you're going to feel better putting out positivity or just interacting and approaching situations with the empathy, humanity. You're going to feel better about yourself doing that as opposed to, negativity, brutality that often we face in this world. But that's my thoughts for today. Till next time.